Hi, Kui, Neknamalita, and this is my channel, The Midnight Librarian, and today I will be going over my 2023 review. No, wrap up. I've done a video like this before. I didn't do it for 2022, but I have done it for 2021. Kind of just like a stats, see how I did for the year of 2023. Really, this should have been done before my goals went up in my mind, but I'm just happy that I'm motivated to record this. I'm hoping the motivation continues to edit. Basically, I just kind of want to go over my 2023 reading and see how I did in terms of reading, as well as readathons and reading challenges, etc. Go ahead and get started. I feel like just like off the top of my head, just kind of going into it, 2023 felt like a very middle of the road meh reading year in my opinion. There were a couple of standout books in terms of surprising and ones that I really enjoyed. That will be a separate video, as well as a couple of books that I wish I didn't read, or I wish I would have DNF'd, or that really disappointed me. That's also going to be a different video. But overall, it doesn't feel like there were that many, really. I have already pre-recorded my most worst and disappointed, and I'm planning my most surprising and best books. And I think I struggled with both of them in terms of putting books in one or the other, because a lot of them just fell in the middle. So I don't know, they weren't like great, but they weren't necessarily bad. I don't know, that's just how I think a lot of booktubers are feeling this way of 2023. Let's just go ahead and jump in. I do have Goodreads up, as well as the book tracker that I've used from Allie from Hardback Hoarder. I'll probably use screenshots, but I probably won't do a screen recording just because it's a pain in the butt to like line up. But overall, Goodreads, my Goodreads challenge, or the amount of books I had wanted to read in 2023 was 45. This is a goal that I've had for the last several years, just because it's a good number. I feel like it's a good solid number. It's kind of just there to help make me feel good. Really, I know I can reach it. I definitely surpassed it this year. Even like, I get that like I can reach 45. That's been no problem. But I like giving myself that space in terms of if I want to read a tome. I've never wanted to, but you know, it's there if I do feel so inclined. Overall, I did surpass that goal. As I said, I read 113 books. My Goodreads says 112, but one of the books was actually a Kickstarter book that Goodreads didn't have in its records. I haven't checked to see if it has a record of it now. So yeah, 113 books read, which equates to 31,233 pages and 740.45 hours listened to. Let's see, in terms of monthly reads, in terms of quantity, my lowest month was July, where I only read 6 books, and my highest was a tie between March and December, where each of those I read 13 books. When it comes to quality, April took the cake at an average rating of 4.22. Let's see, in terms of series, I started 15, I finished 7. A handful of them I do have reviews for, if you do want to go check those out. I'm really happy with how many series I was able to finish, actually. This was like the first year that I didn't actively like keep track of the series I needed to needed to finish this year. I just kind of like, it was a soft goal. It wasn't one that I made official, and I think that's the way to go. For me, at least, in terms of not putting pressure on myself and getting them done when I get them done. In terms of author stats, it looks like I've read 6 debut books, or 6 debuts. 42 authors I've read from before, and 65 were new to me. 33 of those were own voices, which is, so I know that Allie from Hardback Hoarder has changed it for 2024. It was always kind of hard to really judge that if authors didn't say much about themselves within their author bio, either on their website or through Goodreads. So And then diversity stats, I read 68 diverse books and 35 LGBTQ plus. Again, I'm not entirely sure how accurate that is. 76 audiobooks, 0 ebooks, 36 physical books, and 1 which was a mixture of both. In terms of genre, it looks like the genre that has my most read genre for the year of 2023 was fantasy. I read 21 books in the fantasy genre, which was 18.6% of my reading. Next, at a close second, is nonfiction, which was 20 books at 17.7%. And third is mystery at 18 books, 15.9% of my reading. In terms of format, 14 books were graphic novels. I didn't read any manga. 89 were novels and 10 were novellas. And then for the ratings, which have changed after from my wrap-ups, I occasionally will go back and go, you know what, this one actually wasn't quite as high, or you know what, this one wasn't actually, I didn't dislike it as much as I thought I did, or I'm thinking about it a lot more. Overall, my ratings were 0 1 stars, which is great, 2 1.5 stars, 5 2 stars, 7 2.5 stars, 23 stars, 23.5 stars, 26 4 stars, 14 4.5 stars, and 10 5 stars, and then 9 that weren't rated. That gives the average rating for the year a 3.62, 3.63. I want to say that I DNF'd about 10 books. Those, even though they can be tracked in this tracker, I didn't necessarily do that because they counted in my reading stats, and I don't like that. And then the authors that I read the most from this year was, I think, a several-way tie, and I blame that on series, which I'm not mad at. So I have Naomi Novik. I've read 3 books from her in 2023, and that was because of the Temeraire series. I also read Kate Lawley because of the Candy Shop Mystery series that I do have a review for if you want to go check that out. Becky Chambers, I finished The Monk and the Robot duology, as well as the one backlist that I hadn't read from her yet, which was If to Be Taught If Fortunate. Annabelle Chase and Tana Gray were the other I've read 3 from, and that was because of the Hex Support Mystery series, which I also have a review for if you want to go check that out. And I'm hoping that will also be a bit more abundant in 2024 in terms of how many repeat authors I have. But yeah, it should still be interesting. I hope to be able to up the numbers a bit further. I was a little disappointed that I've only read from an author 3 times or something. I mean, that's still pretty good, all things considering. Just as a fun thing, cover color is something that I do keep track of as well. I hope to keep a little better track of them in 2024, just because I realized that I could change it up a little bit. But the most common cover color that I read from in 2023 was black with 29 covers. And for the most part, if it's a multicolor book, I tend to just pick whichever color is most abundant on the book. I have, like I said, adjusted my 2024 reading tracker for this particularly because there's some that I'm it's not really white, it's not really yellow, it's more of a cream, and so I will add that in there because I think that there are a couple books that I'm aware of that have a creamy color instead of a white or a yellow. Yes, I am that picky. In fact, there was one that was not quite green and not quite blue. It was technically teal, and that wasn't an option either, so I created it. So we'll see how that goes. So that is my overall reading stats. My year in review for Goodreads, my shortest book is Once Upon a Forest with 40 pages. This is a children's book with, I don't think, any words in it whatsoever, but it has really cute illustrations, and basically it's about this little animal who's trying to replant a forest after a forest fire, and I think other animals come to help. It was relatively cute, except I feel like, you know, there was only like 2 or 3 or 4 plants that died because of the forest fire, and it kind of made it seem like an anomaly as opposed to, you know, I don't know. I think it was, I get that it's made for children. I was not the intended audience for it. However, I feel like it could have made more of an impact considering, and maybe that's just because I'm Californian and that we have fires every year, multiple, and it's not just like lightning, it's human error, it's climate change, and sometimes fire's a good thing for prescribed burns. Now, so there's that. There's my rant on that. My longest book was 503 pages. An unexpected tome, and that was Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Sue Lynn Tan. Unexpected surprise. I think I ended up listening to this audibly through my library. Very curious about it. I think towards the end I actually started like physically reading it too, just to like get it done quicker. Not that that was quick at all. There was a couple of instances where I'm just like I was going back and forth, but that was at the very end, so I didn't count it as like a multimedia thing. But yeah, a decent book. I'm really interested in seeing how the rest of the series goes. Goodreads is saying that my average book length in 2023 was 274 pages. My most shelved book was The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, with 2,610,995 people shelving it, which is no surprise to me. Least shelved item was How the Oceans Came to Be. I'm not too surprised on that, honestly, with 12 people who have also shelved it. Highest rated book on Goodreads was Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. Okay, it's at a 4.59 average. Okay. And my first review of the year was How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix. I just had so many feelings about that book. I did rate it 5 stars. And then let's go ahead and take a look at how I did in terms of, well, I guess, okay, hold on. Let's look at, so 23 of 2023. I completed 13 out of the 23. Not too bad, not great. There are a couple of books that I would like to try to continue on with in terms of, yes, they're staying on my TBR. Yes, I would eventually like to read them. To Shape a Dragon's Breath is one of them. How the Pillow Changes Everything is another. I am going to attempt A Witch's Bestiary, and I'm still chugging through Howls from Hell, but the rest I'm fine with kind of letting fall off my radar. I did DNF 1, which was Monkey Beach by Eden Robinson, which was unfortunate. It just wasn't for me. I wasn't following. So, but everything else was pretty decent. I'm glad that I was able to get them done. I am excited for how the 24 of 2024 is going to turn out. And then nonfiction for 2023, I read 22. I think I've said this in my other one, but like, I feel like, yeah, I don't know why, but I'm seeing 22 on my graphic, but not seeing it on my tracker. So I don't know what went on there, but I do have 22 books for overall nonfiction. 22 nonfictions. I really do enjoy nonfictions, and I'm really excited to see which nonfictions I end up reading in 2024. Overall, there were ones that definitely stood out. Ghostland was definitely one that stood out to me, as well as The Fire Never Goes Out. Broken was surprising to me. Smoke Gets in Your Eyes. Screaming on the Inside. I mean, I love nonfiction, so these were all really fun. And then Buzzword Reading Challenge, I was able to complete, like I said in previous, I think it was my goals video, that I would like to read for 2024, read the Buzzword books within the month that the word was chosen for. So like, because I know that there were multiple, like All the Living and the Dead, I didn't complete that until like August, and then plugged it in for January. So, which I get, no one's policing me on. It's just a challenge that I would like to be able, a challenge for myself that I would like to be able to do in 2024. Book of the month books. I My goals every year is to read 12 of them, one per month. I missed 4 of them this year. I'm pretty sure there was a big gap between The Heart Principle and The Last Word. Hopefully I can do better in the future. Magical Adventure Challenge. This is for the Magical Readathon hosted by G over at the Book Roast. This was a fun little like choose your own adventure where you could pick multiple branches of the challenge and to pick your favorite prompt. The overall goal at the end was like there was 4 different paths you could have landed on. So yeah, that one was actually really fun. I don't think I'm going to be doing it for 2024 though. I'm kind of just over the Magical Readathon. G puts a lot of work and effort into it, and I really appreciate how much work she does on it. It can be really fun, but there is so much going into it that I cannot remember, that I don't even know what my character is doing anymore. So, and for the spring equinox and fall equinoxes, like it's just a lot. So I did do the A to Z challenge. Like I didn't start really paying attention into it until like October, but I thought it'd be fun just to kind of keep track. I think the only ones I wasn't able to complete was J, K, N, Q, and U. But I was really happy to get X and Y and Z even, so which I think tends to be the hardest aside from like Q. Thankfully for 2024 I already have that one filled. But yeah, that one was fun to keep track of, so I'm going to keep keeping track of it for 2024. Next we have the spring equinox. I didn't do too bad for this. I only wasn't able to complete 2. I can tell you that Wolf by Wolf will most likely be on HTBR this year as well, particularly for a buzzword. And I ultimately did end up completing The Heart Principle by Helen Wong. So may the force read with you. This was not my best whatsoever. None of these have been completed. Only Happy Place. I still haven't completed any. The Golden Spoon, Coast Range, God Killer, Keeper Sick, Warrior Girl Unearthed, and Horror Store. I haven't completed any of these. And actually, Horror Store was a borrowed book from the library, so I don't even have it. That was terrible. Which sucks because I do really enjoy May the Force Read With You Readathon. Tarot Readathon is another one that I really enjoyed, and I think I like it because they have random challenges throughout the whole readathon, and I didn't do too bad, but because they have random challenges, like I think they do one every week, that I was able to kind of put in some of my mood reads in as some of the challenges, so that was really fun. So like my incomplete doesn't look nearly as bad comparatively to my completed, and I think I only completed one of the incomplete later on, which was What Lies in the Woods by Kate Ellis Marshall. Overall, I like that. I'm excited for that one to come back. All of the readathons that I participated in, I don't think I bothered with. Yeah, I didn't bother with the Fall Equinox Magical Readathon. I will quickly, literally did book club. I tried this year. I'm really just kind of over the Finlay Donovan thing. I have the first book. I have not read it, but I'm just kind of over it, and hearing people say that by the 3rd book, it's kind of being repetitive. They're not liking it as much. Doesn't make me want to read it. I know I had tried with the audiobook and really just was like not having it, because we immediately start out with a woman who's going through, I believe, a divorce and is like struggling to get her child to like get ready in the morning as she's running late. It was just stressing me out while I was at work, so I'm like, I don't want to read this. We'll see. I'll keep it on my physical TBR for now, but really, like, I'm really questioning if I really want to read it. I was able to read The Spite House. I am glad I read this one. It was entertaining. It was not entertaining enough for me to keep the book, but it was one of the first books I donated to the library that I work at, which is an academic library, and it's been fun seeing our acquisitions librarian put it on the popular reading display that we have, and it's been checked out a couple times, so it's really fun to see other people enjoy it more than I would. The writing retreat, I DNF'd. I didn't care for it. I couldn't, no. The same with Whisper Down the Lane. I could not. The next few I really just didn't care about. The Devotion of Suspect X, didn't even want to bother. I don't care about Rayleigh Sager's work. A Twisted Love Story, I haven't heard good things about, and ultimately Samantha Downing isn't one that I'm immediately like struck by. Yes, I started off My Lovely Wife and tried to end the year with For Your Own Good, but ultimately she's entertaining enough, but like I'm not eager to pick one of her books up, and I haven't heard the best about A Twisted Love Story, but maybe if I find it like through my library or whatever, then I'll pick it up. Monstrilio was another one that I'm not interested in. I've heard good things about it, and I'm happy that folks are enjoying it. It's just something that I don't see myself picking up. The Family Game, another one that I'm like, it's in the same boat as Samantha Downing. And The Midnight is the Darkest Hour. I do have this as an audiobook through Libro, and I tried listening to it and I can't. I don't like the narration. So again, it's in the same boat. If I happen to find it through my library, maybe I'll pick it up, but in the meantime. So I wasn't too excited with the Literally Dead Book Club picks in 2023, and already seeing some of the picks for 2024, also not that excited. I've been like throwing around trying to do like my own little book club. I don't know, just picking like a horror book or something that I read per month. I don't know how many of you would be interested in that. That feels like a channel or Patreon thing. I don't have the time or motivation to do that, but if you know of any like horror book clubs that you're a part of that you enjoyed their picks from, that's not Literally Dead Book Club, like no offense to Kayla, I'm glad she's finding things that are like, I think she has a really good setup in terms of the ones that she picks. However, it's just not for me. So if you know of any other horror book club picks that you really enjoyed, please let me know, because I want you to find something. But yeah, that is my 2023 overview, wrap up, whatever you want to call it, or a couple other videos to wrap up my 2023 year will be up soon. My favorites as well as my least favorites. If you made it this far, thank you so much for your support. So if you made it this far, let's go ahead and put a raccoon emoji. Why not? I think it's because of my coffee cup. That's what I'm blaming it on. That, and I saw a raccoon emoji, so I'm like, oh, that's cute. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. So let's do a raccoon emoji if you made it this far. Again, thank you so much for your support, and I hope that you are in the mental mindset to enjoy your reading. I will see you in another video very soon. Chew.